Hi, I'm Nick Shell, and since 2020, I've been recording at least 12 new songs that I've written here for my YouTube channel. I was starting to believe this might be the first year I just call it and break the pattern and let that be it. I feel my last song that I recorded on here was called Deep Dive, and that was very much a reset for me. I thought, well, maybe it's a reset in a way that I don't continue to write songs. Maybe I'm done with that, I'm good. 90 days later, now I feel like, okay, not only did I need a reset, but I needed 90 days off to kind of recalibrate, redirect. What will my lyrics be about now? Based on what I've learned about myself in this calendar year, where do I go with this? So now I guess I've got to make up for some lost time this year, because I'm only maybe about halfway through for having a song for each month of the year, at least 12. So I guess I'll be busy doing several new to finish out this calendar year 2025. So this new song is called Did You Need Me Here for This? And I will say that when I wrote this song, it meant one thing, and then after I practiced it a couple dozen times to record it, it started to mean something else. And I think that it is more complex than I realized at first. So what I do in these videos is I just explain what inspired me to write that particular song. And if you haven't heard me perform the song, you can just click the link below, and there's going to be a link there where you can check it out and hear me perform the song. So again, it's called Did You Need Me Here for This? Here we go. That feeling you get when everyone is going home, and why am I always the last to leave? That feeling you get when everyone is moving on, and is there somewhere I'm supposed to be? I feel that that's been a major theme of my life, like what's next, what am I supposed to do, wanting clear direction, what's my role? And so I think a lot of people just instinctively figure this out, like a flock of birds or a school of fish. They know what to do instinctively. And for me, I think I put a lot of responsibility and discipline on myself to do the next thing, that I want to do it right. And so I think that's probably why I had this complex. And then moving on to the chorus. And now I say the quiet part out loud. Did you need me here for this? I think that I can take a hint. Just be yourself until the next big change. Did you need me here for this? Or can I cross it off my list? I become someone else. I never act the same each day. Did you need me here for this? So I want to explain that chorus specifically. So just be yourself is something I grew up hearing. It was culturally taught during the 80s and 90s. But you become an adult and you, I guess I'll say, find success as an adult, as a human being, you realize that that's great to know who you are. It's very important to figure that out, and I've spent most of my life trying to figure out who I am, and this year would be a huge year for me to understand. If you're keeping up with Enneagram stuff, I'm Enneagram 8, Wing 7, sexual subtype. I'm a very emotional person, but I'm very much control-based and trying to figure out what do I have control over, and I know that I can't control people. So there's all of this stuff I'm sorting out. So just be yourself. Well, that's great, but you know what? Life continues to change, and whatever your environment is or what people around, yes, be yourself, but you have to become a more evolved version of yourself. And sometimes you have to be the opposite of yourself in order to navigate and survive that situation. And that's very important. And I feel like enough people don't talk about that. So it's something I very much embrace. So it's just be yourself until the next big change, until you need to evolve again. And I say on here, I become someone else and never act the same each day. I have been told many times by many people, I'm basically a chameleon. It's not that I don't know who I am, but I'm very good about acting like the person I need to be for the environment that I'm in. Sometimes I can be quiet and just do the thing. Other times I'm leading the show and leading the conversation, and I'm very aggressive and assertive. So I'm very good, I feel like, knowing how I'm supposed to act now and how much energy and power and focus to show up with accordingly. So I'm saying, do you need me here for this? Or can someone else do the job? Because if you don't need me here, then why am I spending my time here? What's my role? I guess ultimately would be that theme. So moving on to the second verse. That moment you know no one is coming to save you, and that you had the answers the whole time. That moment you know it's not too late for you, and that you didn't actually miss your ride. So that was, I watched a psychiatrist on YouTube for fun. His name's Dr. Orion Taraban, and he has a video about that. No one's coming to save you. And as an adult, you start realizing that you must depend on your life experience to guide you through. And yes, you depend on other people, and yes, you depend on your faith in God, but ultimately, you do have to use your own resources. And no one is coming to save you. I've learned that, and I've become a better person because I've figured that out, how to survive based again on experiences and skills that I've learned through being forced to survive in those situations. And then it ends with a bridge of sorts that kind of ties it back to the chorus. No one announced the elephant in the room. I guess by now it's way overdue. It's impossible not to read the room. I guess I'll be the one to make the move. So something I've learned also, and I'd say in the last year, this idea of being the designated adult. I'm not someone who's wanting to be in charge. I don't need to be the boss, but I do have a personality that just instinctively, I take charge of things when there is no order. And especially when you have that personality, you realize that there's a lot of situations where there is no leader, nobody's in charge, and I've got to make that move. But when I say that no one announced the elephant in the room, what I'm referring to is things have changed, whether it's people's perception of reality, what people accept as normal, expectations, culture, whatever the thing that's changed, whatever my responsibilities might be now, whatever the rules were a year ago, the rules have changed now, and how do we navigate that without compromising who we are. So that's ultimately largely what this whole song is about. It's about things have changed, and I've got to keep up and evolve to catch up to what's going on here. But that's the inspiration where I wrote the song. But having practiced it many times, and I heard my own words here, I realized that also it's a projection of my own personality. Not only how I show up in the world specifically and what my role is, but how I interact with other people. And I'm trying to think, how do I need to act with this person versus this person? Because it's often completely different. And I'm very aware that my job is not to try to change people or control people. My job is to lead people and inspire people, but not to change them. So I think that sometimes I have to think, but am I actually needed right now? Should I be somewhere else, like I even say in the first verse? Is there somewhere else I'm supposed to be? If I'm supposed to be here, then I'll do the thing. I'll evolve to who I need to be to let there be autonomy. And again, that's an Enneagram 8 thing. It's about control. But if I'm not needed there, then I'm not going to waste my time and energy. I'm going to go somewhere else. So that's why I wrote this song, Did You Need Me Here for This? Yes, it's about figuring out your role in life, but I think also it's a reflection of how I interact with other people. About not trying to control other people, but to ultimately control my own environment in a way that is going to keep things smooth and stable. Again, if you'd like to hear the song, click the link below. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.